tonight. So I am going to begin officially in the next few moments as I open up my video. Well, Facebook on our Ican broadcast and on YouTube on our Ican Ministries platform as well. Is going to be there with me neck and neck. They act, and we hope to have a great. It's an ongoing conversation, so this is just here for saying this is much easier than even the Zoom. But
Yeah, it's very simple.
yeah, it's very, very simple to me, and we can hold up to 1,000. There's a lot of technical comes back and visit these institutions and come back and say, listen, we can put some things. Now I don't think that why and we don't do it even outside of COVID because we should be you power all of your lives. All right, Mr. Mendoza, let's jump right in. Ray was talking about something, and Ray, I want you to say it again because Mr. Mendoza, as the president in that area, he is quite equipped to handle it. So you can go over that last question you were talking about, that last statement you made about children missing in the system and all that. Are you there, Ray? Mr. Donawa, are you there? If you are not, you can easily sign back in when you get it. Anyhow, Mr. Mendoza, are you there? Mr. Mendoza, seemed as if my two guests had disappeared. What did I do? Oh my goodness. I think I changed something. I think I took them out by mistake. Let me sign right back in. I'm sorry. Okay, you're listening to WCAN Radio and Ican Talks, and I think I just made a huge mistake by cutting off the conference call, and I do apologize for that. My co-host and my
There are 3 participants in the conference. The
okay.
recording has started.
Okay, I
Please
do
announce yourself.
apologize. I think I cut you guys out just now. So, are you there?
Yes, Dr. Green.
All right, great. Now, Ray was asking a question.
We cannot be giving our students booklet packages. Place. It's just as the kids going home with their textbook. And here, 2021, with the devices that we have asked parents to be mindful of it. We have told them what to do. And some has done it, some haven't. Some don't have the time. Some have to work. A lot of single families involved here. And we are seeing our students. We had a 30% rate with the Ministry of Education, where they would have clearly stated that is a 30% coming out of primary school, going into secondary school with 0 markers. And we have to say 0 because most of the students who enter the room to take this test, this exam, don't even write on the paper. They sit there and don't even write anything, knowingly that they will be going on to, and I mentioned it a couple days ago, that 5 years ago it was 30%. What is it now? Is it 54, 56% of our students, or is it very school? While we sit and say education for all, no child will be left behind. But what is the value of leaving the child behind? Are they being taught where they're at, or are they being taught where you want them to be? And this is my question for the Ministry of Education, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the future of our youth. We know it's a pandemic. We know it's serious. It's critical. It's getting worse at times. But we must be proactive and look down the road and say, look, let's prepare for tomorrow. And that's my biggest concern is tomorrow. Not today, tomorrow. That's my biggest concern. Where are we going with our youth? And where are we to be in the year 2025? Or we can say 2022, when it comes to our students writing the STA, being taught at home, being given a package. And as we speak right now, the package is the most deadliest thing out here for our students to be bringing home. So where do we go? What's the avenue that the Ministry of Education, our parents, all stakeholders are looking forward to? And we are not hearing anything. So we must be mindful of what's happening. But again, parents take the lead in the change that is coming. Thank you, Dr. Green.
Well, if you called from your Trinidad and Tobago to that US phone, you're going to be incurring a big cost. So what I would advise you to do if you're calling with your the Wi-Fi, I don't want you to have a bill that's going to surprise you. So hopefully, so are you hearing me? Okay,
Loud and clear.
good. Mr. Donowa, I'm here. For those of you that are listening, please, um, because of the internet, we are broadcasting on 10 radio stations right now. You see a listen live button, click on the listen live button, you're going to hear it just crystal clear. If you want to actually see us, you can go to YouTube, and YouTube will be live. And we want you to, when you're not speaking, please mute your phone, because we are hearing everything that's going on in the background, getting feedback in the studio. So just mute your phones when you're not speaking, and when you're ready to speak, just unmute it, and we keep going. All right, that is a big, very, very much a part of it. Mr. Clarence Mendoza Danawa, who is a technician within the system education. You're talking about huge amount of the population within the school system to be a what feedback have in the government or tutor concerning this system, Mr. Mendoza?
Well, we know our stakeholders, tutor, NAPSPA, Principals Association. We speak with one tongue. We continue to ask the Ministry of Education for their lead in putting this together. We know tutor, when speaking for their teachers, will advocate for safety first, and we clearly see that tutor would have come out with their memo yesterday, speaking on that issue of their teachers coming out in an unsafe atmosphere to work. They have asked for their teachers and them to be vigilant in what they're doing. And we are asking the same of our parents, to have that serious conversation with their child in terms of their being out there. We continue to ask the Ministry of Education for deferral for all students, so that they wouldn't have to come out here to write any exam. I think an exam can wait. I think life is of the virtue as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that in moving forward, the discipline of our nation must stand out. We are asking for our children to be more disciplined in the classroom, but as adults, we are the ones who is tardy in discipline. We are too complacent, and we are seeing what's happening to the world today. It's not something that we know and we prepared ourselves and was waiting on. There will be no discipline. So we continue to have discussions with the Ministry of Education in terms of postponing or canceling the STA. We don't know if there will ever be a safe time. But at this point in time, we need to be proactive in putting the necessary steps forward, having it in place, plan A, plan B, plan C as the case may be. See that?
Them about discipline and all this stuff. I know some children who are really struggling at home with this technology, lack of
Yes.
supervision. The parents doesn't have the time. Some of them wouldn't even venture to make deal situations. Some parents don't even understand the technology to help. Much and then the parents doesn't understand the technology, the internet, and the schoolwork, and they're frustrated. So how much say the parents have in all of this, if any, and should there be some level of training to assist the parents in upgrading themselves so they can better help the children?
Dr. Green, I would want to venture out and say that before any, we should look at the stability of the family.
Okay.
Mental health issues that is not being even talked about. And, parents are not even coming out to say it, but they and all themselves don't even know what they are feeling at this point in time.
Wow.
At this point in time, we don't know how the family is really feeling, how the children are really feeling. Have anyone have a conversation with them like we used to do? We should have that youth forum where the youths will say, well, look, this is really how I'm feeling. I don't feel to go back to school. I cannot go to school in this manner. I cannot sit in front of this laptop or this device. Some people are claustrophobic. They get into a room and they cannot function, but they can function outdoors.
Right.
So we have all these challenges for our students, all these challenges, and no one is asking the question of them. Just last week we had a parent committing suicide.
What?
Coming out of a PTA, yeah. And you doesn't hear these things in the news because it's one in 20 million, so to speak. But the other 19 plus million is suffering just the same. And we keep reaching out and speaking to our parents in terms of suicide. This is suicide season and no one is saying anything. We are at the climax, the right time, it's ripe and ready for suicide. And until we can really sit down and speak on mental health and the challenges that's taking place, we will be losing it one by one. Whether it's suicide in whatever manner, it is suicide. Whether you are planning it, it's strategizing how to do it, it's suicide, But I really want to see that the SSSDs, the guidance officers, these people, National Family Services, and all the social services department of our government should be revved up in high gear. All our mental health experts should be the ones at the forefront in guiding the nation. It shouldn't be our educators. Our educators done enough. The health sector, all our doctors, nurses, who's on the front line, we should be out there speaking out on this issue of mental health. We have students who would have committed suicide, those who would have attempted suicide. 3 weeks ago, a student would have drank, I want to believe it's bleach. It's in the media. We talk about it. Advertising suicide by way of the media is something we don't do in North America. We don't advertise suicide, And I think the time has come for serious dialogue, consultation, speaking out to our parents, giving them that forum so they can exhale, speak out on what's happening at home, behind closed doors, locked down in this pandemic. Where would they get their next meal from? Yeah, a lot of this is going on. Because parents will clearly speak out and say, look, when my child is in school, my grocery bill is 50% less. Now they are at home, they eat in the stove and the fridge, and I cannot keep up. What is the government giving me to feed these children while they're home? Are they getting lunch from school? What is happening? These are the things that we are not hearing. Our children are hungry, they are depressed at this point in time. And parents are feeling the strain, Dr. Green.
Wow.
Hi, Mr. Mendoza. um, I'm hearing everything that you are saying, and I can relate to everything because, as Dr. Green said, I'm in the system. What I wanted to find out from you, though, is now this the minister put in the public domain recently that they're going to be bringing laptops again.
Yep. The minister clearly stated that 20,000 laptops could be enrolled by the end of the month. Okay?
Correct.
It's clear mathematics. We are saying 66,000 students. They are saying that over 35,000 students would have received devices by some means or another through the public sector and so forth. So you have approximately 32,000 students without devices. We haven't even talked about connectivity. We are talking about devices. So we are bringing in 20,000 devices. So you have 12,000 that maybe be without devices. However, the Ministry of Education, through our minister and their technocrats, has came up with a means test. And from day one, I'm saying the test is really mean. The fact remains, we are asking our parents in these perilous times to go to their employee, to go to the principal, or the police officer in their neighborhood to sign the form. That means this form must be signed and stamped, just like if you are going to get your passport. And I'm saying to the Ministry of Education, I'm saying it again, that whole means test at the last minute is just a deterrent for parents who cannot even read or comprehend what's taking place. Parents who work from home. Parents who is not even working now. How can they get these forms signed? And this was the biggest concept and calls that we were getting all the last couple of weeks. Parents were frustrated they couldn't get their form signed for their child. And that was hurtful. Okay? When we speak to the principals now, the principal clearly state to us that they already sent the names up to the ministry who was supposed to get devices. Now, mind you, those names went up last year. I think it was September, October, they were asked for those names. So the Ministry of Education already has a tally of names of all who are supposed to be getting their devices through the school, via the principal. When you ask the principal, how many students in your school? Okay, 420 students in this primary school. How many on the list for device? 75. So what are we saying? What happened to the rest of students? They were evaluated based on the Ministry of Social Development. Okay? So if your parent is receiving social welfare, you may get a device. This is just how it works. Right? If your father is working in some job where he's making maybe $4,000 a week or a month, as the case may be, you get no device. So in other words, you must be the poorest of poor to receive a device. And that is unfair to our nation children. And again, I said to the Ministry of Education, devices should first be handed out to our primary school students. Our secondary school students, yes, they need the devices also. But Form 6 students and Form 5 who are leaving school, I think the device should be rented to them. I don't think they should be leaving school in the next few months and be afforded a device to go home with in the next couple months. I think at this critical stage, all our students, all 66,000, need their device. But that's not going to solve the issue or solve the problem of this online teaching. Because, like I said before, the 30%ers are now 55%ers. And they really not coming to school to do anything. Academic right, mathematics, English language, a percentage of our students is not inclined in that. And we continue to see to the Ministry of Education year after year. Our construction industry is dying. Where is our TVET subjects? Where are those teachers, those instructors? Where are they? Where are the welders, the electricians, those technicians? Where are they today? And no one looks at those students and say, let's give them an award. The best 200 academic students in the field of industrial art. Not one minister. I've never heard a minister in my time come out and speak out on that. Now we can go back to John Donaldson and say, yes, he would have put that in place. But what's happening now? Those students who are not academically inclined, yes, they will get a device, but what would they be doing with it? They are not academically declined. They want to be in the field. They want to work with their hands and learn the trade. We're not giving them that opportunity. And I can speak for more on that area. When in 2016-17, the Ministry of Education would have put together a team, which I was a part of, to come up with a plan for cabinet on TVET. We'd have worked over 2 years, being paid stipend by the Ministry of Education, complete the document, forward it to the minister, and that's where it stayed. Up to now, we haven't heard if Parliament or Cabinet has accepted. They have honored it, they have read it, want changes, or nothing. And this is the circle within the education system of Trinidad and Tobago that continues year in, year out. New minister, old minister, it doesn't matter. It's the same old thing that goes around in circles. You see? And I think it's about time that parents get up on their feet and advocate for their children. Speak out. We cannot sit back here and accept this scenario that's taking place. It's time for change. You have the perfect opportunity to derive at some type of change that will have the education system equal for all.
The tide. But what I sense also from you have parents who are inclined. They are frustrated. The child is frustrated. The parents is experiencing it even more so now because that home to get that child to even think about I say I have an aptitude and an inclined and I think I alluded to my brother last week to do that. Um, how does a parent go about saying, listen, I know you all may have the best interest of my child or every child in the country, um, but my child is not inclined to that. He wants to be or one of these big institutions or to go into business or whatever it is. all the hierarchies and the way they do the process to make some adjustment or to make room for children like this. Parents are sitting down frustrated, and even in forums, situations that now everybody's saying that child is no good, you, that now they've given up.
Hmm. Hmm.
How do we fix
And
this? It's a nice blend of what we term to be education in the 21st century, or tell anybody you want to be a designer. It was either you want to be a doctor, but if you tell them you want to be a plumber or electrician, or this thing they used to call lock joint, what is it called? I think it's lock joint. It really was road construction. And I've
yes.
heard parents who tell children, when you see me on the road, pass me straight. When you look back at
Hmm.
that, had a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer. And in a sense, what we do works. And whether or not you are inclined to do that or not, at the end of the day, what the child is interested in.
Hmm. Plumber, and so forth. At these institutes, we are seeing where coming to the, but they're given a random drug test by the school, and if they fail, they're no longer in the program.
That's what's
Yesterday,
happening.
had conversation with the head of MICDA in Mokoya. I would have visited him in St. Madeleine because of complaints, and that was the complaint. I mean, we must understand that as youths, they would try anything. They would smoke marijuana, and we know that was prevalent. So give them the opportunity to clean themselves up and come again. Don't throw them to the wind. And that is my take with society and how it's operated. Okay, so you brought in 30 students coming out of the secondary school into the program. Okay? 12 of them random drug tests without the knowledge of their parent would have failed. They would have received their instrument to return next year or whenever they are clean to continue the program. But they have to reapply. So there we go again. These students are then turned away already. They're not coming back there. They're not going to do that. Even if they stop smoking marijuana, they're not going to want to come back into that program. It's a deterrent. And how many students come in a program like that? 25, 30 at a time? In a nation where we're saying 30%, we are saying 30% of 19,000 already fail before they start. 30% of 19,000. So you see how many students. But yet, only 30 to 50 students could get in the MIC program or the HYPE program, as the case may be. Not hundreds. Whereas at John Donaldson, you could have had a overturn of construction workers coming out of there. Even if you would have taken up the trade from John D, you could have gone straight to Texaco, which is Petrochin, T&Tech, WASA, as a young tradesman,
Yeah.
and become a journeyman.
Right.
You see? And that is where it should have stayed. There should not be no MIC on the side or no HYPE on the side where contractors are now taking these students and having them work on the job for meager $25 and get their jobs done. But what are they learning? Are they really learning on the job?
Wow.
And that is why society needs to visit these sites so you can really see for yourself what's taking place. I, Mr. Mendoza, have done that. I've visited the job sites where MIT and HYPE students are being used.
Let me take a
You
quick
see?
break and come right back. Wow, this is some
Thank you.
stuff. This is some stuff. Just take a right.
Listening to WCAN Radio with your host, Clarence Green.
You guys make me have to drink some water, man. This is going to be an ongoing conversation as we.
Left behind. They were left behind years ago. And here we have another generation coming up, which is going to be left behind. And we are saying no to it. We are saying that our children today must be the readers of tomorrow. And if you sit in a classroom, primary school, you realize that only 20% of the students can really read. You see?
Wow. And why is that so?
Well, it goes back again from first year, preschool, coming on up, and your teacher who is teaching you or teaching the class, whether or not you like English language, arithmetic, mathematics, you are going up to standard 2. Whether you make a 5 in reading, you are going to the next class. So it's the next teacher problem to deal with.
Right.
And here you are now, you are at the door at standard 5 to write the exam, but you cannot read a grocery list to do the mathematics.
Wow.
Yeah? You cannot read a grocery list. John has $12 going to the market to buy 2 apples, which cost $3. How much change you have left? John couldn't figure that out because he could not read. But if you put the money in John's hand and you send him by the parlor, he can buy the goods and bring back your correct change. That's as far as it goes.
Wow.
So again, we are going back to our school days, and you would have rightly stated something earlier, which is the junior sec. And society failed to realize how important a junior sec was than a 5-year college. We don't have any junior sec anymore. When you reach Form 3 in your junior sec level, you got a certificate. And the reason why the junior sects were introduced is because of the dropout rate of students. Now, the bracket where our students will drop off from school is between Form 3 and 4. And that is where they would have a little certificate to say, well, yes, X, Y, and Z. Now, today, those students in Form 3 who's dropping out are the product of the 30%. They don't go on to Form 5. And if society knows that, what are they doing about it? Why should the students stay in the school for 5 or 6 years, as the case may be, and knowing well that that child is not going to advance in academics? Whereas when you reach Form 3, you would have had the basics, you would have gotten a certificate, and then you can go on to taking up a trade. Now, I've visited schools throughout Trinidad and Tobago that have the tech box set up in their school. Maybe 5 throughout the whole country. And again, some of these schools, the equipment that the Ministry of Education has in these schools are dinosaurs.
Wow.
These equipment where our children need to learn the trade, whether it's machine shop or not, they are dinosaurs. In 2019, the then minister in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Lovell Francis, and myself, every week I would have been on tour with him throughout Trinidad and Tobago, visiting these schools, asking that these machineries and these equipment be upgraded. Up to today, nothing has been done.
Wow.
We even source equipment that is just sitting there, covered down, collecting dust. Nothing has been done. We even visited Petrotrin when they closed down. With the vast equipment that they have there, why can't some of them go to some of these schools? Nothing has been done. Okay?
I would like to interject here and say that I can relate to everything Mr. Mendoza is saying, because what I have observed is that the education system does not allow for vocational training.
That's correct.
It is strictly academics.
That's correct.
So that in forms 1 to 3, you can't tote your book bag on your back. You can't tote all those books, right? And you go through that from forms 1 to 3, and when you get to form 4, where you're choosing your subjects, you're choosing subjects that you never heard about before. So you have to learn that. So you have 2 years to learn that. To do a critical exam in the next 2 years.
That's correct.
Right? And why the vocational has no recognition. My opinion is that you don't have a PhD after your name. You don't have a degree in plumbing. Right? And parents as well as society in general, they only recognize those letters at the end of your name. Look at job criteria. Look at job criteria in all the ads in the newspaper. What is the first requirement? A degree in this, a degree in that, a degree in the other. So that leaves out the 30% that Mr. Mendoza is talking about.
Yes.
Wow.
Right?
You know,
So until there is some recognition for people, students who are not interested in academics, but very interested in metalwork, in woodwork, in pan manufacturing,
in agriculture.
right?
Automotive.
Agriculture. Until you find some focus in that direction, you're gonna always have dropouts.
You know, as we
And the crime
Mr. Mendoza, go ahead.
and having those dropouts, you're now growing a crime rate, and you are now growing gangs. Because if I'm a gang leader, I know where to go and recruit. You understand?
Yeah.
And you're not waiting now for those students of secondary school. You are recruiting to the primary school level. Society failed to realize that those students in the primary school level is now more advanced. They may be wearing short pants, but they're more advanced. So when they're reaching the secondary school level, they've already been in training. Okay? Where Form 3 students now bullies Form 1 students for their lunch. And 5 do the same to 3. And so the recycle goes. Until you coming into the school system understand, hey, this is what's happening here. This is what I need to do. So you in training. So before you leave secondary school, you are a gang member. Why? Because society is not giving you anything else. Not one thing else society is giving you. And it's so sad that an 11-year-old in 2011 would have told me this. He said that you all fault why we are the way we are. You understand? The child was 11 years old when he told me that, and I kept that in the back of my head, and I said, why would he tell me this? All I asked him to do is to tie his shoes. Why are you running like that? Tie your shoes, boy, before you fall. And you said to me, you all who have us this way, that's why we are the way we are. And he continued playing like it was no tomorrow. But I studied that then, and I'm studying it now.
You know, I can
And it's
identify with that.
fun.
I can identify with that.
Yeah?
I remember going somewhere with you, Mr. Mendoza, and I wouldn't call the region. I went to
Right.
see a principal with you and Mr. Strand. And I got a rude awakening because I thought that what I was doing and trying to make a contribution in Trinidad and Tobago with the human trafficking and
Yes,
the
yes.
safety and wanting to get all the principals some training, being the
Mm.
managers of our children, and when the children are in school, they would be the person who will recognize certain things before. Um, and so within training administration and training some of the frontline workers within the school system in each school, it would give them a heads up because at the time there was a lot of things happening within the school system that I felt a lot of protocols were not being followed from the security guard
Mm-hmm.
onward straight into the principal's office. Principals were getting beaten up by parents and all this kind of stuff who had problems with the way they treat the children and all that. And I felt for the parent to get to the principal's office and get beat up and nobody knows and left the school. Something had to be radically wrong. And you took me somewhere to a particular principle. And in laying out the training program, I was shocked what she said to me. And I'll just say it what she said to me. And it's identifying exactly what you just said about that child. She said, listen to Mr. Green, there's something that you said to me that sounds nice. If you see something, say something. And she said to me, when I see something, I ain't saying nothing. And I was really shocked. She said, why would I say something to people like you or the police or whoever is in control when the gang members are sitting in my class? This is a primary school. This is an elementary school we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When the gang member is sitting in my classroom, a child, and if I see something and say something, I may get shot or reported to the other gang leaders by this child
Mm-hmm.
sitting in my class. So that the only person I'm protecting in this school is myself and my child. And listen, that evening brought me to some reality in Trinidad and Tobago as to what is going on within our school system.
Yep.
I drove out of that compound behind you, and when I got back to familiar territory, here's the question I asked myself: why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Why? Just like I would ask you sometimes when I go to meetings, sometimes when I used to go to meetings with you guys, what's in this for
Yep.
you? Why am
That's
I
it.
doing this when the system is so complicated, in some cases corrupts, when you have teachers and principals who knows what's happening in the system, is afraid. I've heard about schools that people who work in the system tell me that the teachers are so scared of the students they hide themselves in classes because the students
Yes, they do.
have become so bad that they want to beat the teachers, and they have to group themselves, lock a door, and hide themselves in there until some police come or somebody come to rescue them.
Yep, yep.
My goodness. Are you telling me, and we're wrapping up for tonight because I want to finish around 8:30 because we have so
Yes.
much to discuss every time we come on, just an hour and a half for the most. In your words, I'm speaking to the co-host, Mr. Donovan, I'm speaking to you, Mr. Mendoza, in your capacity. Is this a failed system? And if it's not a failed system or failed system, what do we do to change the course?
It's Dr. Green,
I know it's a
again,
difficult question.
I speak out on this, and I'm speaking out more now than before because the government has the opportunity now to put things right, or to at least put something on the table so we can have a discussion.
Mhm.
Don't wait till 2022, 23 to say, well, okay, let's try this. Okay? I stated to the government of Trinidad and Tobago that our educators in society should be given the opportunity to run the education system in Trinidad and Tobago. That's who I think should be out there handling this. And I'm saying that because the Ministry of Education and our students, our children of Trinidad and Tobago should not be going through what they're going through. Not at all. We sit and we say we have the Geneva Convention on the Rights of the Child. But who's looking out for the child? Shouldn't it be us, the adults?
Mhm.
But we are not. We are not. The education system needs complete overhauling. The SCA exam needs to be thrown out the door. And I'm saying it, I'm going to keep on saying it. It's time for a new way forward. And in doing that, we may step on some corns along the way, but it has to be done. And if we want to sit back and say, well, if we touch that education system and we try to make anything different, then we may lose the election. This is not about election. This is about the growth and development of the country, the future of our country. And this is what we must see. We must see that those children going into 2030, 2040, will maybe be the next prime minister of the country. So we cannot sit back and say to ourselves, let's continue the way it is. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just continue. Let's just have the exam next week. Don't worry about the figures on COVID there. The figures will always rise. But the figures were always there. We're just letting it out now. So don't worry. We're going to have our exams. Our children will write our exams, and they will become doctors and lawyers. Because I can't see any of those exams helping any 50% of our nation children, which is 10,000 of probably the 19,000 who is going to sit and write this exam. Are we saying that 19,000, 15,000 of these students really going to be doctors and lawyers every time around? Who picks up my garbage in the morning? Who's the plumber?
Mhm.
Who's the maid? Who
Yeah.
is the handyman? Why we ever come up with the word handyman?
Where's the
Why
balance?
wasn't it a handy engineer with some BBS and some
Right.
LSD behind his name?
Exactly.
But yet we have 19,000 students going to sit on an exam, and I'm telling you, 15,000 out of the 19,000 really don't want to be there. We want them there as the parents. And if you fail for the school that I choose for you, I'm vexed. Don't talk to me. This is where society reaches. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard parents made their child kneel down on grater and on fan and all these sort of stuff so they could study their work to pass through the school of the parents' choice.
Hmm.
You
Say
understand?
that again. The parents' choice.
And Dr. Green, I can say a lot more tonight, but I will save some for another time.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just very good way to end. Mr. Donovan, you have any final words or to wrap up?
Yes, I just want I just wanna uh, confirm the stuff that Mr. Mendoza is saying because I see it every day.
Hmm.
Right? I see it every day. I I can confirm that there are gang members in primary school. They come into the secondary school seasoned
Lord have mercy.
because there was a time when laptops were given to every single Form 1 student.
Yep.
When you inspect some of those laptops, you don't see porn.
Hmm.
What you are seeing is a bed laden with $100 bills
Hmm.
and two machine guns resting on those $100 bills.
That's it.
My
You
goodness.
are seeing that student with a picture of himself with a pistol to his head.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This is
It's
some.
not anymore about porn.
Mm,
That's it.
this is some deep stuff
Yeah.
you guys talking here tonight, man. Listen, I have never heard on national radio, on television, or anything closely resembling this conversation. And we just skimming the
Hmm.
surface. This is the second of a series of conversations that we're gonna have. That's going to really open up a whole slew of conversations. Ugly or no ugly, we gotta reveal it because nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to see what's really or be honest enough to say, let's really delve into this and really check it. But this is what we have to do. And we're going to have to seek people out from the different sectors, whether it's the regular person, the housewife, the mothers, the children, if interview them along in front of their parents and get this thing because something is wrong. I know something is wrong from what I'm seeing. Talk to the Ministry of Education, get some of the technocrats to talk with us to be able to bridge this gap and get these wheels as slow as it turning. Maybe it's the beginning of something that we're doing here that will eventually make a difference in the long term. But our time is up. Tonight is 8:34. We have to leave it at that for tonight, and the conversation continues. And so we'll meet again, hopefully next Sunday, once it's convenient for everybody, and have another discussion and take it to another level. Thank you, Mr. Mendoza,
Yes.
for
Thank
joining
you,
us
Dr.
again
Green.
tonight. I do appreciate the sacrifice you've made tonight, especially Mother's Day. I know you're a family man, and we do appreciate all that you've said and contributed. Mr. Donowa, thank you very much for being here and making some very valid points backing up Mr. Mendoza. Both of you are in the system. And God bless and have a good week. And we'll be back here on next Sunday. For those of you who are listening, thank you for listening to us. Next week, we're going to give you an opportunity to participate and call in the broadcast. But even if after the broadcast, and we finish the subject matter, I'll be still here live. So if you want to call in the station and throw in your 2 cents while I play music and stuff, 1-919-500-7820. 1-919-500-7820. That's our WhatsApp number. Give us a call if you have to, and we'll entertain your calls and I see if I can answer it. All right. God bless, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the night.
Thank you.
Have a good
All right. Wow, that was something else. That was amazing.
Turn it up!
You're listening to WCAN Radio with your host, Clarence Green. Clarence Green.
There's something I would like you to think about
WCAN
for
Radio.
the next time.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a Form 1 student
Mm-hmm.
telling not his form teacher, not his peers, but the principal that he sees no reason why he needs to study. He told the principal, and this is something I heard with my own 2 ears. This is not a story.
Right.
He said, Miss, why must I go to school for 5 years to get a job that will pay me $6,000 a month when I could sell drugs and make $12,000 in a day?
That is some. Listen, boy. Yeah, that's a discussion for the next time we come on this. Yeah, we gotta talk about that one. Whoo.
Think about that. Because, and mind you, he's telling this to the principal.
What is a
A
principal
Form 1
supposed
student.
to do? I know the protocol. The protocol is the principal hears that from a student. I've been in schools, and when we got there, one of the students, as a matter of fact, the youngest student, this is an elementary school, the youngest student, we went around asking, the teacher was asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And each student answered something. I want to be a killer. And I want to walk down the street with a gun and shoot everybody I can in sight.
That's what they're being taught outside the school gate.
And everybody went silent. The teacher got up immediately and removed that child from the amount of students that was in front of us and just moved that child away. But everybody already heard in my life. And the question was, where did that child get that from? I've never forgotten.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw some of those pictures. And let me tell you something. When you go into the pictures folder, I honestly went expecting to meet up porn movies and porn pictures and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's
what they do anyway.
so I was shocked. And what added to the shock was that this was back in 2013 when I was new
That was 2013 you're talking about?
system. So it was a shocker to me to see weapons of every shape, size, you name it. Right?
Wow.
You name it. Some of those machines, they don't even have it in the police service.
But a child have access to it.
Yeah.
A child, a teenage child, or a child under the age of 13 have access to
Correct.
that. My goodness. Miss Pam, you're real quiet in the back there. You could unmute and join the conversation, because this is a real powerful conversation. Even though we've officially over with the particular conversation, we kind of just sticking around and talking some stuff, because I am shocked tonight at what I've heard. I mean, I've done a lot of safety stuff and a lot of courses and stuff in safety, but what you don't get in those courses, you get preparation for situations. What you don't get is what you all revealed tonight. The underground rubber hits the road experience within the school system, within the classroom, between teachers and students. And I'm sure if we start delving within the homes, sometimes in a lot of cases where the parents are not even come forward, it's like a waste of time. My life is being threatened here by this child. I ain't trying to get killed from this kid. I know of parents who call pastors to come to the house. Really? You can't control your child and you asking a pastor to come and do what? Pray for you when your child is the owner of a gun and threatening to kill your life? So what is he going to do with the pastors?
Hmm.
And
Uh, uh,
this is widespread. This is not just in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're not saying that um, I'm talking, what I'm telling you here has nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago. This is situations that I've lived and gone through within the United States. So there are challenges in every system. My thing about it is that why isn't it being addressed? In every school, even though the slackness that happens within schools in Trinidad, it hasn't escalated to the craziness I've seen in schools in the United States. But I can tell you one thing I've seen. Before I left Trinidad, they used to have a security guard in every school. I don't know if it's still like that. I can remember MTs used to be the security guard in every school. Maybe it's still like that. But I know in the schools, even though we have escalating situations in the schools outside of Trinidad where there's massive shootings and children are killed in like a slaughter within the school system, what I do know is most of the schools that I visited, the first person you encounter when you go to that school is a police officer. You meet an armed police station, and depending on how big that's an appointment. When you get there, you go to the front desk or escorted by that police officer, or he directs you there. When you when you get there, you're going to get a guest pass, which must be attached to your chest whilst you're on the school compound. If you have to go see a teacher, you will be escorted. That still does not stop crime and gangs. And in some schools in the black community, they started installing these machines to make sure that you are not coming onto school with weapons. That still hasn't
um, I've experienced scratch bombs and all in the school.
in your Trinidad.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a war zone, and you see the reason why things will continue to be like that is because the point I was trying to make earlier, and Mr. Mendoza was making it as well, is that the plumber don't stand a chance. The mason don't stand a chance.
Wow, man. Listen, you ever say a subject matter that will wear you out?
Yeah.
I came here with some high energy, man. Excited to talk about this. We didn't have a course. We didn't chart a course. We know we deal with education and the it get me real quiet. And I'm trying to understand. It's like my buddy Mr. Boris today on TV is like, what the hell is going on in the schools?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I can say. What
Uh,
the hell is going on in the schools? It's a war zone, and all I'm hearing is the children bad and this and that. And that. There's so many different things, arms and legs, that makes this machine work or not work. You can't really blame one person. You have the authorities, the police, the MTS, the teachers, the social workers, the administrators, the principals, the whole 9 years, the Ministry of Education, which sometimes to me is very confusing. I don't understand the machinery, man. I don't. But at least we bring in things to the forefront: the good, the bad, and the ugly. And making a presentation of what's really going on in the system, making awareness, and hopefully, um, if the time is not right on Sunday night because it's falling right into the news thing, and if you have to make an adjustment to the as much people on the forum to that will interview, and maybe pre-record it and bring it into the system, video or audio, so that we can have a reference on what the man on the street think, what the parent think. Because if we wait for some of them to come here, they're not going to show up. Sometimes you have to meet them
Yeah.
right where they are, and get the point of view in their busy schedule. And just nice to have different stakeholders, tutor, Ministry of Education officials, to, if not say something on the broadcast, because I don't want to fight, to listen in. Because a lot of times leadership ticks that they can't do what they know is the right. And I know it's a different world to what you and I think is so easy to do and fix and put in place. There's a whole different machinery in the political world that you may have power, but you may not have sufficient power to just mess with, to work with, and to make changes because of what you do and how you do and how it affects things nationally and politically. Radio station, and we launch it. Good night.
Hi.
Say hello to the wife for
Same to
me.
you.
And yeah, all right. Good night.
I don't.
Yeah. Wow. We are going to take a short break and play you some messages and come right back to you. We are all off the free conference call, and we're right back to where we started with the radio station. So let's get into some station identification and some.
Turn it up!
You're listening to WCAN Radio with your host, Clarence Green. Clarence Green.
I wanna see you dance. Oh, these ain't loyal.
WCAN Radio.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all
This
your friends
is an
in the
evaluation
woods, the
copy
trees,
of
the
Jazzler
sun,
24.
that little boat that you
If
made out of
Jazzler
magic.
24 is useful to
Mom
you,
took me to the
please
forest last
register
year.
I'm a
by
slug,
clicking
Steven. It
on the
took me a
register
long time
button.
to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list.
But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Well, we had such a great time tonight discussing a very sensitive but important topic with the NCPTA, the acting president of that association, coupled with my co-host, Mr. Ray Donowa, and boy, they brought it on strong tonight. And so join us again on next Sunday night at 7 o'clock, where we will get together and do that. Every night around 8 o'clock, really, we're going to have a discussion. I have a discussion here, and I'm going to bring that again this week. There's so many things to discuss, even if I have to do it by myself. We bring a discussion that it is relevant to Trinidad and Tobago and the world. And you know, we mix that up all day long with preaching and teaching and sharing Jesus Christ with you, mixed with music and, you know, great conversation and everything. We are live 24/7, 365 days a year. So this is what we do here at the network, and we continue to do that. We pray to God that you will continue to support us and bless us with your presence and your funds, because you know we're looking for the money because we need it. So many things to do, and let me just share with you, we have things that you might be interested in. We have water that we do with some infused water that we do, ginger infused and lemon lime infused water. Then we have natural water, and we have ginger infused and ginger infused and lemon lime mix. Then we are coming on this week with some juice. We're gonna have fruit punch and sorrel juice and lemonade, orange juice, grapefruit juice, and I think that's it. We're looking for some other juice. We're looking for passion fruits, and we're looking for the popular Portugal, and hopefully we make a ginger as well. So that's going to be about 8 flavors. We're going to eventually come out with, one at a time or a few at a time. But I'm excited. People are excited. We call them a seminar in a bottle because on every label we have inscribed on it. I can stop human trafficking. On the juice we have I can stop domestic violence and human trafficking. This is what I do. I speak on issues like that. I teach people about it. And at this point we can't do any seminars, so we call them a seminar battle because they give the information out that we would normally say in a seminar, and when we sell them, you get the message and you enjoy the juice. We raise the money that we need to raise to continue doing our projects, and guess what, we have to live as well. So we're doing business and we're getting the message out. So it's a social message with every product that we have. And so far, those that have purchased from us, we've been doing the water for about 2 years, but now we're taking it to a totally different level. And those who have been blessed enough to taste our products and experience it, they have absolutely good things to say about it. So I'm proud, and God is really doing a wonderful thing for us. So support us, give us a call, 1-868-397-5961. Order your products, or go to our website, wcanradio.us. There are areas there you can purchase the water online, and once you purchase it, I would see it. Give us your information, we deliver it for you, or if you're in a position to pick it up, you pick it up. What else? You can also call us on 1-678-856-3709. That's 1-678-856-3709. Or what for your live, like right now, you can call us live, and you can actually put in an order live. It's 1-919-500-7820. All in a day's work. All right. So while we're doing the broadcast, we want to be able to make money. We're looking for volunteers and co-hosts and people to interview people on the streets while the broadcast is going on and relay that back to the broadcast as we go through different segments and different conversations. Feel free. We're looking for volunteers to help us. It's a lot of work we have to do, and we're looking for people who are like-minded like us to be able to join with us, man. Join with us, and let's get something really beautiful going on. All right, let's play some music. It's now 9:09 p.m. and the jazz is on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Put it together, how to say it right, and let you know that every night I'll be dreaming, dreaming.
place with the most music variety. Most music variety.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that birthday parties help build confidence in kids?
Yeah. Did you know that giving kids less sugar before bedtime helps them sleep better?
Oh, totally. Did you know that friendly kids have more friends?
Everybody knows that.
Hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
I didn't know that.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. Your home is better protected when your whole community is prepared. Visit fireadapted.org to get started. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I volunteer with United Way to help the homeless in my community learn computer skills and build a basic resume. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Can you tell if the leftovers from this dinner party are beginning to grow bacteria that could lead to severe diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramps? Listen. You can't see it either. Get leftovers into the refrigerator as soon as possible. Spoiled leftovers can make you very sick, or worse. Roughly 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
You're so annoying.
You're so annoying.
Stop copying me.
Stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop talking to me.
Kids will spend 10 minutes copying everything their sibling says.
You're such a
You're
doofus.
such a doofus.
How about 2 minutes to brush their teeth? Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Mom!
A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I volunteer with United Way, reading to children to help prepare them for a better academic future. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is an evaluation copy of Jazzler 24. If Jazzler 24 is useful to you, please register it by clicking on the register button.
TampaBay.com. shepherd over his life. Testimony I give, the shepherd I can live. God of providence, you are my guide. My God will do. Whenever he wants to, he's God. That's all.
It's all over the world that you would release your spirit in such a way that every yoke would be broken and destroyed. Father, our prayer here tonight is that every eye would be open, that every ear would be open to your word. Father, our prayer here tonight is that every heart would be open to receive. And that even now, as we pray this prayer, that change is moving all across the world. That lives are being changed. That people are being moved even as we pray this prayer. Come on, church, I need somebody to come into agreement with me. I need somebody to come into agreement with me. That lives are being changed right now. That people are being turned right now. That the darkness is being dispelled even as we pray this prayer. That the word of God is being preached from nation to nation. That the word of God is being released from country to country. And even as the word of God is going forth, the Spirit of the Lord is drawing people closer. The Spirit of the Lord is moving in such a way that kings are changing, that the hearts of the kings are changing, that the hearts of the presidents are changing, that the hearts of the senators are changing, that the hearts of the representatives are changing, that mayors are changing, that city officials are changing, and they're coming to know the truth. They're coming to the knowledge of the truth. Somebody help me pray this prayer. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. God, you can do it. God, you can do it. God, you can have your way. God, you can move by your spirit. Let your spirit rise. Let your spirit move. Let your anointing go forth. Cover your people. God, you can do it. Have your
Let's welcome the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir.
You know, sometimes in life, situations are going to occur where you may look to the left or the right and you can't find any answers and you can't find anybody to help you. But I'm reminded of the word that says, they that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Come on. You got to learn how to wait. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting on you, Lord. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting on you, Lord. I don't mind waiting. I'm gonna wait on you. On you, Lord. I don't mind because I know you're coming after a while. So I don't even mind.